Hi everybody, this is Alchemist 2 and I'm back again with another movie review. I recently got to see Heaven is for Real. H-I-F-R. And I absolutely adored it. I thought that Greg Kinnear was superior. Thomas Haden Church was tremendous. Be warned though, it's a real tearjerker. I mean, for me it was because today happens to be the anniversary of my mother's passing, and she passed away at 4:30 in 2008 due to uterine cancer. And there were a lot of things said that reminded me of my mom, and I was just, puddles were coming out of my eyes. I couldn't stop crying. But it's actually a really good film, and it's very uplifting and enlightening. And I am one of those people that definitely, I believe in an afterlife. I believe in heaven. I don't believe in hell. God forgive me, but I do not believe in hell. I just think that hell was an idea that the Roman Catholic Church came up with to frighten people. And back in the days when the church had control over the peons of the world, that was the way that they got their payment indulgences from the people to grant their entrance into heaven. Come on. Stupid. And actually there are a lot of churches that still practice in this. Come on, it's the 21st century. Get over it. Move up in the world. And more pressing matters at stake here, I think. And money is one of those elements in this realm that is just transitory. It is just so paltry, and this actually shows that. And what he says, what Todd actually says, is very poignant and very, very profound, I thought. I mean, I won't say what he says. It's near the end of the film itself, and of course there are a lot of moments that'll really tug at your heartstrings and get your waterworks going. I was overclamped half of the time because I'm thinking of my mom, but I know that I'll get to see her again. And oddly enough, I had a dream with her in it, so I know she's looking out for me, and I think she's sending me those goldfinches every day just to let me know that she's proud of me and she's happy for me, and she is telling me that I'm doing a great job and to keep it up and keep going my way, and everything's going to be fine. Everything will work out, just like Colton said. And he'll say everything will be fine. You're not going to be hurt. No, they will not hurt you. And I just, there was a lot of reassurance in that, and there's so much hope in that, I think. And there are so many things, near-death experiences, of course. Science will say, and I am a scientist too. I am very rationally minded, and I am very empirical in my thought. But there are some things that my scientific mind cannot explain through any other means but my faith. So that's where my scientific mind and my spiritual mind converge. And I absolutely adore this film. I just think that it's a real dandy, like my dad said, and it's just absolutely fantastic. It's everybody can see it. You will cry, I guarantee you. Just be careful, take your Kleenex. But it really is a very hope-filled message, I think, and it gives us something to look forward to. But we have to live in the now. We can't look idly by into the future and think we have to wait for this to come. No, we have to live in the present. We have to be presently minded. And I've read books on this subject, and I think that living in such a way is more important than focusing on the future. Even though having that in your mind, in the back of your mind, it's not just a bad thing, but don't live as if it's a far away notion. You have to live now. And I have a friend who was talking to me about that, and I absolutely concur with him. And I have been trying to do my best in leading this life. And I give Heaven is for Real 2 thumbs up, 5 stars, hands down. Greg Kinnear, he does an absolutely splendid job. He is fantastic in this, and Thomas Haden Church is his banker. He's a tremendous actor as well, and we hadn't seen him in anything except he'd always starred opposite Brendan Fraser. And I like those two together quite a bit because they're a great comedic duo, but seeing him in something that exercises that acting muscle that he has, I also enjoy. And Greg Kinnear also does some good roles, and I think he deserves some accolades. I don't know if he's going to get any. This film has gotten quite a few, but other than that, I can't really say that much. It is a little preachy, and I don't know if a non-Christian would be interested in seeing this film, but I'm spiritual. I'm not a person that would shove the Bible down your throat. No. But this is more about what we don't understand and what we can expect. And there are near-death experiences. I mean, these things are documented, and even the book written by the neurologist, I'm hoping they make that into a film, because I think that would be very interesting. His experience, called Proof of Heaven, I really like that book in particular, because he was the truest of all skeptics, and he is a believer in the afterlife, and I totally agree with everything that he stated in his book. And I've got so many different books on NDEs, it's not even funny, but it just, for me, and having been surrounded by death at such a young age, and seeing all my friends die before me, being born to older parents, is just something that I think about quite a bit, and something that also gives me security and surety, and knowing that someday I will get to see my mother again, and I'll get to see my mother's mother, and my dad's mother, and my dad's father, and my half-brothers, and I think I could have been a twin. I don't know if that twin was a brother or sister, but I have a feeling that I was fraternal for some. I don't know why, but I had a dream about it. I had a dream I had a brother, and in that dream, my brother was high-functioning autistic. He had Asperger's, and it was so real. I mean, I felt like I knew him. I didn't know his name, but I thought, I know who you are. I've met you before. And it was just the weirdest dream I've ever had. But I wanted to talk a little bit about that dream I had. In this dream, I was with my brother, and he's the same age as I am, and except he had dark hair and dark eyes. I mean, he looked more like my mother, but he had a lot of burnt features too, like the nose and the thumbs. He also had my grandmother's thumbs. So, and he had a mole underneath his eye right here, his left eye, like me. Don't know his name. He had Asperger's, and he was totally into sports, and he had so many different medals and honors, and there were silver and gold medals, and there were people that didn't believe that he had received all these different accolades and merits, and they would come and they would view all of these awards that he had received, and there were people that were just cruel, and they would make fun of him, and I would stand up for him. And then when I got really happy, I would kind of float a little bit. I hovered, and they would say, "It's no wonder your brother's weird. He's just as strange as you are." And I said, "He is my brother. He is not strange." That was all I could remember of that dream. And Mom showed up in it. She was in her 30s. Actually, she looked more like she was in her teens, because my mom was one of those people that aged very gracefully. When she was, right before she died, I mean, she didn't even look that old, but cancer really ravaged her body, so it did age her in that way. But she had no gray in her hair, so people thought that she was still in her 40s when she was in her 70s before she passed. That she was in her 30s there. She was young, not wearing any glasses, and she was just boasting very proudly of her son, and she was proud of me, and she was glad that I had this ability, Even though I try to keep it hidden from the public, I didn't want people to know that I had the ability to hover, and I had telekinesis and psychokinesis, and it freaked people out. So that's all I remember of that dream. But sorry, I got off track. But if you want to see a really good movie, then go see HIFR, because it's absolutely spellbinding, and it will definitely make you feel a sense of comfort. At least it did for me, especially this being the day of my mother's passing.